Two village idiots with a love-hate relationship
See, you got fat.
So you still look like a 15-year-old girl, but not hot.
who can't stop arguing over Oklahoma sports.
You know what, man? Why am I still talking to you?
Come on, we were doing good there, man.
It's the Just Okay Sports Podcast.
Thunder Nation, we are back. This is the Just Oklahoma Sports Podcast, otherwise known as the Just Okay Sports Podcast, where we talk all things Oklahoma, especially Oklahoma Sooners and Thunder basketball. We are finally all back together, gentlemen. This is my brother Jared, my good friend Troy, who is still basking in the glory of a Thunder championship. Gentlemen, how are we doing? Troy, I'll start with you. You've been on one pod since we've won. You have not been on since the signing of the Big Three. You haven't been on since anything. Thanks so much for contributing to the Thunder side of things. But you're here today. How are you, my friend?
I'm good. Happy 36-day anniversary of the Thunder winning the championship, and happy Chet Holmgren Day.
Oh, big day. Big day. 7'1" kind of day. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So I was talking to a buddy of mine, and and they mentioned it that I hadn't been on the pod in a while. It was like, you haven't been on the pod. And I was like, it's true. It's true. And this year I was so emotionally invested in the playoff run. Like, so emotionally invested. I couldn't talk after wins. I couldn't talk after losses. I was like drained.
You have to find a way, Troy. You have to start to find a way.
But now here's the thing. Here's the fun thing now. I was thinking about next year. And even if we lose in the second round or whatever, I'm fine. Like, nobody can take this championship away from us, y'all.
Somebody clip that. Hold on to it.
We won the NBA championship. Do you realize that?
Yeah.
And we are living in the dream. We are living in the dream. The dream that we had in 2012 after game one, where we thought we were going to win the championship against LeBron and the Heatles. And we thought we were going to have those three forever. Guess what? That didn't happen. Fast forward. Whatever. Now we won the championship. We've signed all three till the end of the decade. We are living in the dream. Can I get an amen?
Amen.
Amen.
Hallelujah.
Everything that people were saying, oh, they're not this, they're not that. It doesn't matter. We won the championship. It doesn't matter. All of it goes away. And this is the worst version of the Thunder we're going to see. Go!
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of crazy to think because, like, yes, one, it was a long period of time since 2012, right? But think of how many franchises had even sniffed an NBA Finals or even a conference finals in that time period. Like, we have to like take a step back too. Like you kind of said, Troy, like the Thunder organization is one of the best run in the NBA.
Yeah.
100%.
Like,
Well,
I mean,
and,
because
all the things. How many franchises have KD, Russ, Harden, now Shea, all MVPs? Got to have Paul George on an MVP run. Like, KD went on multiple MVP run. The triple-double record belongs to OKC and Russell Westbrook. Like, in what, 17 years, I believe is what they've been here now. Is that correct?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So you're like right there. That's 6 things that are historic that are all here. Right? And now an NBA championship.
It's crazy the amount, like we haven't even talked about it, like the amount of assets they still have. Like, they're not like a lot of teams like the Heat or whoever, where it's like, okay, they went all in, and for like maybe 2, 3, 4 years they're going to be able to run, but after that they're going to have to break it up and then they're going to go full rebuild. It's like the Thunder are still in a position like that they have all these assets that they still have, that even if, say, something tragic happened or, you know, they had to trade somebody or whatever happens, it's like they have enough assets that it doesn't really matter. Like, they'll be able to get another piece. Like,
Yep.
Yeah.
It is absolutely wild what they've been able to do. Insane kudos to Presti, but also to the players. And I'm going to give a special shout out to J-Dub for having a freaking broken wrist the entire playoff run. and still scoring 40.
Yeah.
Are you
Yeah.
kidding me?
Yeah.
Like, what they did is unprecedented, unprecedented. Let alone just winning the championship at their everything is mind-boggling, and they're only going to get better.
And
Yeah.
and then on top of it, what? 2.5 weeks after they win it, we get to see what the new stadium's going to look like in 2028, which, by the way, looks freaking incredible, and is going to completely transform downtown in a way like crazy. And talk about living the dream. Thunder Alley returns.
It's coming back, baby.
It's coming
it looks
back.
Great. It looks great.
Looks fantastic. I mean, it has just been good news after good news after good news after good news. And the vibes continue to be very high.
Here's like a macro thing that I maybe somebody's done this, but it's like I would like to see the amount of growth in like, especially in like downtown Oklahoma City since the Thunder have arrived.
Somebody did that video where like even in like 2012 they were showing like shots of downtown and like aerial shots and stuff to now, and it's unreal the difference.
Yeah,
just in those 12 years.
We just got named the number one big city to live in.
Yeah.
It's funny because like even like I didn't live in like the Oklahoma City area when I was still in Oklahoma, and so it's like, but it's like it felt like I'd go up to like downtown or go up through there or whatever once a month or so, you say something like that, and it's like every time I went up there was something going on, there was something new happening, like there was something getting built, or like it just exploded in the last 20 years.
So let's talk about something else. Let's talk about the 3 getting signed, because there's been a lot of talk about them getting signed.
Yep.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Lots of opinions.
A lot of opinions. One easily that should have been signed and was signed was Shea, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Easily. He's the head of the snake. He arguably is the best player in the game. Arguably. I'm not saying he's definitively. He's arguably.
Even if he's the second, you have to do it. And that's where he's at right now.
Even if you want to be, even if you're a hater and want to say, oh, he's only in the top 5, you still have to sign him. You know what I mean? Like you can't take him out of the top 5.
And Troy something happened. I think there's a kiddo trying to track him down, but yeah. I mean, regardless, if like you said, Jared, if you're top 10, you'd sign that contract.
Yeah. So easily should have done that. Well deserved. You got the dude, right?
Right.
Let's talk about the 3rd-year player that got 3rd team All-NBA, 2nd team All-Defensive Team, All-Star for the first time, and just dropped a 40 bucket in the finals with a broken wrist, having to change his shot. Deserved. And there are people saying he's the most overrated second option in the game. Go look at what he does.
Yeah.
Because people only see 20, 25, 30 points a game, and they're like, oh, he's a 21-point scorer. He's overrated. Dude's better than any defender you've got on your team.
But people also never take into account the depth the Thunder have. That's the thing. People are so used to having 3 capable players, and that's all you're really using. The Thunder have 8 capable players, like legitimate capable players. The points have to go somewhere. But we've also seen J-Dub completely take over games like Game 2 against Denver.
Yep. Yeah, 100%. And then the one that I've seen a couple people say is the worst contract ever. Oh, we even have a buddy of ours that said they're going to regret it for years to come. I completely disagree. Completely disagree.
I'm on the train with you on that, Troy.
Chet getting the rookie max, and it wasn't as big as J-Dub's, and deservedly shouldn't have been because of the accolades that J-Dub has done, and he's played all 3 seasons. Chet's only played a season and a half. Right? Deservedly so. But man, without him, we don't win the championship. He's only going to get better, and he's probably a top 5 defensive player already in the game.
Oh, no question.
And he's still shooting in the regular season. He shot 39% from threes, and I went down in the playoffs, but that's going to improve, dude. I have literally zero worries about him. Even from the physical standpoint, I don't really worry about it because the dude takes so much abuse, and gets back up. It was a freak accident that happened,
Yep.
kind of on both ends. So and now if it
Yeah.
happens again, I'd be like, yeah, he's injury prone.
Like, look, like when you're Joel Embiid and I got back soreness for 2 straight months,
That dude's a joke.
or hamstrings that are constantly popping left and right or strained, and you can't. I've got knee soreness and like well, Anthony Davis is another one like that,
Hmm.
right? Like that kind of injury stuff scares me to death.
Yep.
But getting your legs cut out from underneath you and falling full force on your hip is a freak accident.
Yep.
Like that's just okay, like John Morant in the playoffs. Like that happens. There's nothing you can really do about it, right?
Yep.
So
Yep.
I'm with you. And then the season that he doesn't have a freak out, he played all 82 games.
Yeah,
He
exactly.
never even took a night off. So
Oh,
I'm
but
with
we
you.
we wouldn't have won the championship because Ja had us figured out, remember, in game
Oh
three.
yeah, oh, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
And
Ja had us
and
figured
and
out.
Jared and I talked about this last pod, Troy. That whatever it was, the first 10, 15 games of the season, we were saying on this pod,
Hmm.
including you, who's the basketball guy, going, is Chet the
Hmm.
second best player on this team? Like
Yep.
J
Yep.
Dub doesn't
Yep.
look like he's taken the
100%.
jump that we expected, and Chet's gone way above what we expected him to do. So if you get
Yep.
75% of that guy back, worth it.
Game over. And here's the I truly do think that J-Dub figured something out in the finals.
Yes.
I think because there was a moment it clicked with him. What was it, game three in the finals, maybe? Where he was like, "Oh, nobody can stay in front of me. I'm going
Yeah.
downhill." And it might have happened in the second half of this Denver series, frankly. But there was a point it clicked with him where he was like, "Nobody can stay in front of me. I don't care who it is."
I mean, I think the thing with Chet, like we talked about this before a little bit, it's like I feel like people are trying to draw comparisons, like you said, to like Embiid or like a bunch of other bigs, Anthony Davis, stuff like that. And then like people try to highlight, like he'll make one mistake in the game, and people like highlight that for the whole game, and it's like just
Well,
confirmation bias among the fan base because like yeah, it's like it's hard to do that with Shea or even J Dub a lot of times because like they are more consistent, but like you said, like they have more experience. Like Chet's only played a season and a half. Like he's only gonna get better. And even last season, he came back like physically more ready. I mean, I know he ended up being injured, like you said, with a freak accident, but it's like as he grows into his frame a little bit more, it's like you said, he's only gonna get better.
yeah. So
Yeah.
all that being said, y'all, I've got my championship mug. I've got my hat over there.
Yeah.
I've got my shirt. I can't be happier and more like content right now with Thunder basketball, where we're headed, where like the new stadium, like all the things, man. Like it's a dream come true, and we get this team for at least one more season, the
Yeah.
exact same team.
Yeah.
And we haven't talked about summer league. Topic looks very good. He's got some turnover problems, but the dude can run a second unit, and I have literally no worries about it. And AJ Mitchell looks like he's way too good for summer ball.
Yeah. AJ Mitchell
And
was definitely the highlight of summer. And there's things about Topic that still worry me, but the playmaking's there.
the
Like
playmaking is
when
100%
you
there. And
see
he's a
him,
better shooter than Giddy ever was.
yeah, I think he will be. I think he will be.
Well, and some of
So
those things like a turnover, like the turnover problem is something that you can coach. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
that's not.
Yeah.
well,
It's
and
not like oh
I think we've
He made
seen
the
too
Serbian
that
team.
the Thunder kind of use summer league for guys to try things. Like that's and it's his first time to play ball in what, a year and a half?
Yeah,
And it's
minimum.
the first time to play American professional basketball, which is a much more
Hmm.
physical game. I mean, there's a lot there, but like seeing a guy just very comfortably and easily throw lobs, which again, this is one of the things that Schleck talks about all the time on their down to duck pod. Like, why can't this team throw lobs? This team is like the worst lob, but like Topic threw a ton, and he didn't even have a big on their
Yeah.
squad, and he's still throwing lobs. So like those kinds of things, I'm excited about. I'm with you on that, Troy. It'll be good.
But AJ Mitchell, he like we have assets. I think if I'm looking forward to a year from now, the offseason after next year, right?
Yeah.
I think unfortunately, the dude that we're gonna lose, just because he's too good and we won't be able to sign him again unless we just get a super friendly deal is Case and Wallace.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's going to be
I,
hard.
I hate to say that
Yeah.
because I want him to be here, but we signed our big three. Um, but I think we'll have room to either re-sign Dort or Kaysen, and so who's going to stay?
Yeah, right.
How do we figure that out?
Yeah,
And that's a Presti deal.
and we
Right.
didn't even talk about somebody that you love, Troy, that got re-signed also, or that's still on a long contract, and that's Hartenstein.
No,
I
he's
know that
not.
was
No,
last
no,
year.
no,
Just
no,
one.
no, no. He's got one more, and then the year after next is a team option. So whenever we hit the apron, that's when the team option be like,
Yeah.
"I heart, we love what you've done with
Well,
us for 2 years. Here you go. We got to show you the door."
well, yeah, sure, but sorry, what I meant is like he'll be here next year too, and he
Yeah.
played extremely well whenever Giddy was out.
And I
So
Oh,
mean,
like,
there's still a potential that he's here year 3, but there's just going to have to be a
mhm.
lot of things fall the right way for him to be here year 3. I think the expectation is that they'll say no to that option.
just sitting here
Oh,
watching him frozen. Okay,
Daryl, you
oh,
got frozen again, man.
oh,
yeah,
Lordy. Great. I love it.
But there is a possibility that they don't care about the apron penalties. If they want to afford it, if they can't afford it and they don't care about the penalties because we've got all the assets in the world, maybe they do go year 3 with iHeart and be like, we're just going to take the penalties. We don't care.
honestly, like if you think about it, if they go and make like another finals run next year, I say that they probably consider paying it pretty heavily.
There is no, okay, now the expectations are so high. And to piggyback off that point, Jared, there is no reason on God's green earth to expect them not to get to the finals.
Yeah, I know.
Honestly.
Yeah.
And to win it because nobody in the East is going to be as good as anybody in the West.
Yeah, I know.
No,
The
the
only
top
team, the only team that even has a shot, in my opinion, is Cleveland. But they got worse.
that you're not wrong. Like Cleveland's going to win a lot of games, and they're
Yep.
going to be out to prove something, and then they're going to fold in the playoffs because that's what they do. That's what Donovan Mitchell does. Period.
Mm.
And I don't really blame Donovan Mitchell. I just think it's the teams around him. They just fold for whatever reason in
Yeah.
the playoffs. And so nobody like the Knicks will be there. They've got a new coach. What is it? Adelman is the coach. But the top 3 teams in the West, there's gonna be tiers to it, and we can do this later. But off the tier 1 is the Thunder, and it's everybody else. And then tier 2 is Denver and Houston. Then tier 3 is Minnesota, LA, Golden State.
Hmm.
And might be able to put Dallas in there as well. And then tier 4 is everybody else. It doesn't matter
Yeah.
actually.
Yeah, that's like out of the playoff crew. Well, it's been fun. It's good to see you happy, Troy. It's good to see you back on the pod. But basketball season's over. It's done. It's time to start getting ready for some college football. I believe we have 4 Saturdays before the start of some college. Oh my gosh. Oh, Troy is all in. I love this. So we are going to go full Kool-Aid chugging contest today. All right. We're going full on hopium, smoking it all up in the room like crazy. We are going to do this. All
Can you
right.
say that as a pastor?
When it's hopium, yes, you can
Oh, okay,
smoke
okay.
hopium. You can do that. Yeah, you can do that. Obviously a squad coming off a 6-7 season. Really, really abysmal. Let me give you some numbers. I sent this to y'all and none of y'all bit on this at all. I went through and I pulled our stats for in-conference play, SEC play last year offensively.
Mhm.
We in conference play averaged a whopping 247 total yards per game as an offense. We averaged
That's
17,
so bad.
17 first downs, which actually was not bad. That was 17th. That would have ranked 17th in the country. Time of possession, we were 75th in the country at 29 minutes. We were 128th in the country in turnovers, 2.125 turnovers per game. And we were 130th in points per game at 16.5 in conference play. And by the way, the yards per game was 133rd.
Out of how many?
I believe
134.
34, 35.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
I mean, literally in points and in yardage, pretty much dead last
Okay.
by a long shot. right? So I think we understand and we know that the offense has been the reason. And this team was still very much in games. Like, you lost to Tennessee last year 25-15, and it didn't get there and out of reach until late in the fourth quarter against a team that was a playoff team and right at the top of the SEC, right? So the defense held its own. So, full hopium, I want to know your 5 reasons as you're going in this season why this team could win 9 games and contend for an SEC championship. Your 5 reasons.
All right. Let's do this. Okay.
Okay.
We're all gonna have one of the same on our 5. We haven't asked what each other's 5 are, but there's gonna be one point on all of our 5s that is going to be one of those. You want to just say it on 3?
I don't think I have it.
You don't have John Mateer as one of your 5.
No. And we froze, right? We're frozen again with bad internet as he's like freaking out mad that I didn't have John Mateer in my top 5.
So
that was
Jared,
amazing.
would you have had like let me ask you, do you have John Mateer as one of your 5 reasons why we're going to be successful in 2025?
Like top 5 reasons?
How do you not? How do you not have John Mateer on that list?
Because
no, hang on. Let me jump in on this because I did tell Daryl on the last pod that I am buying John Mateer stock now, but it's not because of a disrespect to John Mateer, but I just think that there's a lot of other guys on the team that are going to be extremely impactful too.
All right,
and I think
what is the most important position on the football field? Period.
Head coach.
No, it's not. It's not on the football field. It's on the sidelines.
I just want to trigger him.
Center.
It is quarterback. You idiots know that. 2, tell me it isn't at least an improvement from last year's quarterback situation to this year.
Yes.
Yes, it is.
So, and who was the number 1 player in the transfer portal out of everybody that everybody wanted? It was John Mateer. So you're telling me on both years' lists that quarterback, our new quarterback that everybody wants, that thinks could be an All-American, could be a top first, second round pick in the draft in a couple years, is not on your top 5?
I would probably put him on my top 5.
I'm just influencing you.
No. Let me because we talked about this last pod.
You just bullied Jared into. I mean, I think he would be in my top 5.
Hang on. Because like what I would say to you, Troy, is as bad as the quarterback situation was last year, the offensive line was so abysmal. And we can get into like all of the semantics we've talked about them not being helped out by offensive play calling and those sorts of things. But there was also times where I will give Jackson Arnold this credit. There was times that it's like it could have been Baker Mayfield back there, and I don't know that he had a shot because he had 3 defensive linemen in his face within a second of the ball being snapped.
I do not disagree, but at the same time, there were many times where he had plenty of times to get rid of the ball.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
And he did not.
But here's the thing. I, for one, didn't put John Mateer on my list just because I knew everybody else would. I'll just put that out there. Yes, John Mateer is absolutely one of the reasons. But I would also say I do think the other things around, like we knew Jackson Arnold was going to have growing pains. We said that going into the season. Now, we were hopeful, but we said there were going to be but when the O-line is a wet paper towel and the offensive scheme and coordinator has no freaking clue what he's doing, and we're beat up so bad with injuries that you can't even practice full 11-on-11 football.
Agreed.
Jackson Arnold probably wasn't really the number 1 problem.
And Venerable said it in Big 12 Media Day.
Exactly.
Like, because of the situation, it didn't do him any good. And so honestly, my top 3, and I'm just going into it. Sorry, guys. You guys got me on a tangent because Jared, you triggered this. But 1 quarterback, 2 offensive coordinator, 3 O-line, and you can flip that however you want. Those are my top 3.
Okay.
Mhm.
Love it. Love it.
And I don't think it's close because if the offense plays medium ball, right? Like if they play in the
Yeah.
50s, 40s or 50s, nationally ranked and everything, we're going to win a lot of games because I
Yes.
think that's how special the defense is.
Yes. Totally
Yes.
agree.
Sorry. That was my rant. You guys go. Sorry, I've taken up a lot of airways.
Go for it, Jared.
I mean, look, I think that there's like we talked about this a little bit last pod. Somehow you lose 2 guys in Billy Bowman and Danny Stutzman, and I still feel like this defense is going to be better.
Oh, and I think too we've been shortchanging Ethan Downs. I mean, that's three pieces.
Yeah. Who's I've been trumpeting Ethan Downs, but anyway, I think the defense is going to be. I think the defense is going to be better. And like you said, the offensive line I think is going to take a massive step forward. I mean, they can't really step backwards. So it's like you said, like honestly, your offensive line I think is going to be a lot better, and I think it's going to be. It just has to be serviceable. Like again, like the other part is just Ben Arbuckle. Like I know that's not a on the field guy, but it's like we've talked about this.
Yeah.
He's going to have an effect because like when you watch the games, like I've gone back now, like on during some of the offseason and watched some of the game like replays and stuff. There is no like it didn't even matter what the roster was. I don't think like everybody could have been healthy, and I don't know that we would have been any better because like you're not the offensive game plan made.
And we've lost Jared
that.
or everybody
Like-
again. Hey, Jared, back up a bit. Sorry, froze on my end this time. Our internet connection just continues to give us issues. So, you were saying that it cut you off right when you were saying just the play calling would be completely different.
Yeah, so I've gone back and watched some of the previous games during the offseason, and it's like it's like watching junior high football. It's like literally you just have to know what a post route is. Like there's no scheming of like we're gonna put you in a matchup. Like we're gonna do do something where it's like, well, it's gonna look like this play we run a lot, but we're actually gonna be throwing a screen pass or anything. Like there was nothing. Like it was like there was the fakes we ran are not attached to anything that we do. Like nothing is nothing.
That's such a good way to say last year.
Yeah. Like there was like the offensive, like the more I watched it, I'm like, I legitimately have concerns. Like even so, like, and I kind of mentioned this last pod. I have like concerns about Joe John Finley because like I understand you're not an offensive coordinator, but like I legitimately I think I could have gone and dug up some high school coaches and been like, you could probably call a better game than this.
How dumb does that sound? Like, how dumb is that? Where like what you said, Jared, even the fakes we were running wasn't attached to anything we did.
No.
Like, how
Yeah.
stupid is that?
It was.
Yeah.
It was
Well,
so bad.
And there's this is the biggest thing too because like this is another basic of football. Like Jimmy, it's not the Jimmys and the O's, the X's and the O's, and like we definitely didn't do anything with that. Like we didn't do either of those. Like we were having a 5'8" receiver try to block either a linebacker or a defensive
tight
end
end screen, so we could get our tight end in open space.
Yeah,
instead of our 5'8" guy that supposedly runs a 4.4.
Yeah, like it doesn't make any sense. So anyway, I think those things are going to make it a lot better. So it's like I know Ben Arbuckle's not on the field, but having somebody like I still am like a little bit on how good is Ben Arbuckle, but Ben Arbuckle's going to be better than what we had by a long margin.
At least he has a system. Like
yes,
So I do think, and that's my point. Like, and don't get me wrong, Jackson Arnold made plenty of mistakes and put the ball on the ground when he shouldn't have, and caused his own little sorts of issues just on himself. But I'll give him the credit of saying like he wasn't put in a position to succeed. The receivers weren't, but nobody on the offense was put in. Even the offensive line was not put in a position to succeed. Like if you go back and watch some of the games, it's like I can't even recall what game I was watching. Daryl's frozen, so I may have to repeat all this.
No, I can hear you.
Daryl,
Okay.
Your internet is like really bad today.
Yeah,
I
know.
think I can hear the noise of your 56K modem. So, anyways,
Do we want to
there's
pause?
a
So,
game
do
that
we
I was
want to
watching where
pause
it's
and come back and see if I can get a better
if
connection?
it'll make it better. Yeah, let's do
Sure,
that.
sure.
All right, we'll be right back. We're going to see if we can get this fixed and let Jared fix his thought. We'll be right back. All right, hopefully we've got that resolved. Jared, sorry to have interrupted you, but you were getting cut off by the computer in your thought. It was a good one. Please continue.
Um, yeah, I mean, as bad as the offensive line was, and I don't think there was anything that any offensive coordinator is going to be able to do to make the offensive line good. They just didn't put them in positions to succeed there either. I mean, like I said, there was games. I don't. Like I said, I was watching one of the games, and it's like I think it was like the first quarter, they're running like the GT counter, and it was like it was actually kind of working. Like you weren't busting 30-yard runs, but you were getting a little bit of movement, and then they just went away from it. And like I said, I think with that, I think the Nagy hire is another thing that's going to help out a lot in trying to maybe help with some of those. Like, why are we not playing some of these guys more? Why are some guys playing so much when they haven't produced? Like I've been saying this, and I said it last pod. I'll say it again. I think Eddie Pierre-Louis is going to be on the field this year. I think he's going to make some noise this year. I don't think he's going to be, amazing, but I think you're going to see him. I think you're going to see him. Like even last year, he came in as a raw freshman and was still, I think, heads and tails above anybody else.
Does he start day one? Yes or no, both of you?
Yes.
I think he does.
Okay, me too. All right, move on. Keep going.
But he made mistakes and stuff, but it's like, man, he was one of the only guys I saw in the games that he got to play, which was very little, where he's putting guys on their back. I mean, he was pancaking some people and didn't see a whole lot of that from the offensive line. So anyway, I do think the offense is going to be a lot better. But like I said, to go to the defense, I think Kip coming into more of a leadership role is going to be huge. I mean, he did a little bit last year, but of course, Danny was kind of the QB of the defense. I think Kip's going to slide into that really well. And I think whoever you put on next to him, whether that's Kobe or whoever, is going to be really, really good. And some of those guys, like I said, I've been saying this. I said this last pod, and this will kind of be my last one. Is David Stone and Jaden Jackson, along with like R. Mason Thomas. Like I think the defensive line is about to be crazy, because I think David Stone, if he's really, I mean, he's already physically looks different. But if he can get to where his technique is good and stuff, it's like even last year when he wasn't physically as well sculpted as he is this year already before even to fall camp, I think that he is going to he was already unblockable last year at times. Like there was times he was getting double teamed and he was still just owning those guys. So you put him next to Jaden Jackson, it's going to be crazy. Go ahead, Troy.
Just a question. Who starts across the line? Day one, snap one.
Go ahead,
R. Mason, and Halton, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Then who else?
I think Jaden Jackson will start.
Yeah, I was going to say Jaden
three?
Jackson for sure.
That's three. Give me four at least.
I think. Well, let me say at the D tackle, it may even be a matchup issue, but I think your penciled in starters are Dominic Williams, Jaden Jackson, and Grayson Halton. I think those three guys kind of take turns starting, and I think Taylor Wine is going to be your other starting defensive end.
Does David Stone not play D tackle right there too?
Yes,
he does.
but I think he'll rotate in and not start.
But we talked about this too. I think that's far long gone are the days of the Big 12 where you could play, your 4 starting D line and be okay. Like you're in the SEC now. Like you're gonna you've got to have to rotate. And so I think that they are going to, even if David Stone doesn't start, he's going to get a ton of playing time.
Yeah, I agree. He'll play a lot.
That's a hell of a 4.
And that still has
rotation.
PJ and Danny Okoye just sitting over there to rotate in. You still got Marcus Strong you can rotate in. You still got Trent Wilson you can rotate in. I mean, they've got bodies for days. Now, if PJ's healthy, we'll see. Our Mason talked him up at SEC Media Days. We'll see. So, anything else for you, Jared?
No, I mean, I think there's a lot to be hopeful for because of those things, but I think that's about it.
All right, so here's my 5 5 things that's got me drinking the Kool-Aid.
I only
all
gave
over.
you 3, by the way, so I've got 2 more to go.
Yeah, I
You
don't
go.
even really
Oh,
give
yeah.
you numbers. I just kind of ran through it. So
Yeah. My number 5 is just health. Like, I just do not believe that we're going to be down to like 4 offensive linemen for the season. I don't believe we're going to be down to our walk-ons at wide receiver. People also are completely underestimating the reality that Gentry was hurt, Peyton Bowen was hurt, Kendall Dolby was hurt. You had DJ Terry at times hurt throughout the season, going through and trying to play through injury. I mean, you had injuries on that side of the football. And Kendall Dolby, we forget how good he was playing in that Tennessee game. Like, he was one of the best players on the field. The secondary thing to that is not just health, but we talked about this. They were struggling to put 5 guys out there to even play offensive line during the week, which means your good on good reps for the defensive line were non-existent. So the defense was that good without good offensive linemen helping them get better. So that's going to make your defensive line elevate even more. And let's be honest, not having walk-ons playing wide receiver is going to make your defensive backs, and especially your corners, even better because they're getting good reps in practice. So that the health piece of it impacts so much across the line. So that's my number 5. My number 4 is rosters and turnover in the SEC. Like, the returning starters at quarterback are who? You got Dart's gone, Milrose gone, you got Nussmeier back. Okay, you have to play him. You don't have a returning starter other than Jackson Arnold if you want to say he's a returning starter, but he's in a new system with a new place, with new players.
No,
new
it's not a
stuff.
returning starter. No, I
Right.
wouldn't
I
put
mean,
him.
like, you have so much. And like Texas, they took a first round O lineman. They lost 13 draft picks across the board, and they lost about 4 assistant coaches on that staff to the NFL. That's not a small thing. They've got a lot of new across the board for them that they've got to put in there. And so I think that that is a major thing that everybody's just overlooking. Everybody's like, oh, Texas is the best. And look, I understand. Give them the credit. Sark's done a good job recruiting, except, but like, if you're telling me that Arch Manning, a first-year starter, isn't going to have some growing pains against D coordinators like Kirby Smart and Brent Venables, who are some of the best there are in the game, and then having a brand new O-line having to deal with all the different looks and all the different things that they will throw at them, you're crazy. You're crazy. There's going to be growing pains with those teams in a big way that gives you a chance. So that's my number 4. My number 3 is the offensive scheme and play calling. I don't know if Ben Arbuckle is going to be the second coming of a Lincoln Riley or Kevin Wilson or whoever you want to put out there for great play callers. But
That's true.
he's
This is our
really
hopium.
good.
He is going to. This is our hopium podcast. He is the next one.
He is going to change it a lot. And he knows what he wants to do, and he is going to do that. I kind of mentioned this earlier, but I'm still going to say it again. My number 2 is this. The defense that was already a top 15 defense last year will benefit from the level of play at quarterback, the play calling, and the things they're having to deal with in practice. Whereas last year, it was just them dominating a JV team essentially every day at practice. And when you have to play greatness every day or goodness every day, you're going to get better. And they didn't have that last year. And so they are going to come up so big with that alone. And then here's my number 1. That was one of my number 1s last year going in. Bye-bye to the bye weeks. Do y'all remember last year we talked about this? 6 games. 6 of your SEC opponents out of 8. Tennessee played Kent State the week before we played them. Texas had a bye before we played them. Ole Miss had a bye before we played them. Missouri had a bye before we played them. Bama played Mercer the week before they played us. And LSU, although this ended up being a much tougher opponent than we thought, but going into the season, was playing Vandy the week before they played us. This year, here it is. Michigan, New Mexico. It's kind of a bye week. Auburn, South Alabama. Texas plays Florida. South Carolina plays LSU. Ole Miss plays Georgia. Tennessee plays Kentucky. Bama plays LSU. Missouri plays Mississippi State, and LSU, and a little bit of a bye week, Western Kentucky. But there are some juggernauts now the week before they play us. Texas having to go to Florida, play at Florida, against DJ Lag. They ain't going to have 2 weeks to prep. South Carolina ain't going to have 2 weeks to prep.
We basically have 3 weeks to prep.
Yes. That is a game. Like, we know how physical this league is. To have a week of getting healthy, of just getting your body right and mentally preparing. And again, Brent Venables with all these rookie quarterbacks, Lenore Sellers is probably going to be the best quarterback you play all season from an experience standpoint and an ability standpoint.
Him and Nussmeier, yeah.
Like, you're going to get 2 weeks to prep for that? Let's go. Like, you don't, and
No,
he doesn't,
not for
I'm
Sellers.
sorry, he doesn't get 2 weeks to prepare for us, I should say. And so now Brent Venables gets to just have him in a blender. I'm all about it. Like, that is going to be such a bigger impact than any. We talked about it last year, at least me, and I know Teddy Lehman was screaming it from the rooftops too. That gave the other team such an advantage going into the games we played. Such an advantage. And now you don't have it. Like, it.
Yeah, we have
massive.
Auburn. After Auburn, we have a bye week, then Kent State, then Texas. So that gives us 3 weeks of prep time for Texas.
Yes.
And I mean, like, the other part of it, like we've talked about this too, is it's like you need that rest for especially for your defense. I mean, for the whole team, but especially your defense, right? And we didn't talk about this last year, but it's like you didn't have that luxury at all, and your defense was repeatedly put in bad positions last year. Like, if you go look at the schedule and you see that the offense plays 10% better, literally just gets one more touchdown, basically, or one more sustained drive, like, we're probably talking about a 9-win season.
Yeah. So
at least Tennessee was totally in grasp for sure.
Missouri.
And Missouri should have been a win, period. Should have been a win,
And
period.
if we're talking bye weeks, our bye weeks are before Kent State and Bama. And so, but Kent State is kind of a bye week in itself. So we get 3 weeks on Texas. So we get a bye week between Tennessee and Bama, which you could argue to our two biggest games is Texas and Alabama next year.
Yes, 100%. So, I mean, again, you start putting all those things together that are trending more your direction, along with yours, Troy, about the quarterback. How do you not believe this team's going to win 9 games?
Can we also, I've got a couple other things.
Go.
Jaden Ott. Because the O-line will be better, Jaden Ott is going to freaking be a stud.
Yep.
So we talked about this a little bit last pod, Troy, and like this is what blew my mind because I'm trying to pull it up right now because like I want to make sure I have all the names. Where is it?
While he's looking that up, Daryl, I know when we first got him as a transfer, you're like, yeah, he's good, but he's just
Yeah.
But have you flipped your thinking on that a little bit?
I have not fully flipped yet, but I will say this. I looked at his season prior, so last year, 24 season, and I did not realize he was dealing with an injury through that season. And so now knowing that and going back and seeing that year prior to that where he had like the 1,700 total yards and all that stuff, he's a much better player. Now, here's my thing. We all know that here in a couple days, they're going to do the thing they do every year, that massive OU weigh-in party that they do. I want to see what he weighs in because that Jim Nagy luncheon thing that they just had, apparently within the first 2 months of him being here, he came to the strength and conditioning staff and said, I'm really scared because I'm putting on too much weight. And they said, well, here, let us show you this. Jim Nagy was saying this deal. You've put on all the weight you've put on, and we've actually clocked you faster. So then he went through the summer, put on more weight, and they said, we clocked you faster.
Well, here's one that we haven't talked about. This is why I wanted to pull this up because that is already terrifying. Would we all agree? Because we talked about this last pod. So Troy, I want to get your feedback. Would you agree that Javonte Barnes had a little bit of like when he was healthy, he actually had a pretty good year when he was playing
last year?
Yeah.
No.
He had the one game where
he had the one game, but he showed flashes, right? I mean, it was hard with that offensive line, but he showed flashes.
Dude, nobody was good back there, man. Like Taylor Tatum, I would argue that Taylor Tatum and Xavier Robinson had the best looking years back there, but Taylor Tatum couldn't hold on to the ball or pick up a blitz, and Xavier Robinson wasn't used enough.
Yeah, but my point being is that last year, okay, let me just back up a little bit. Last year, we were all talking about maybe like Sawchuck and Barnes kind of step forward and like really like they've shown flashes in their careers where they have that potential
Right.
On this roster, they're probably like third or fourth string.
100%. I was going to say that if they're seeing the field, something's wrong. Frankly,
Yeah,
because Jaden Knox should be your
that's
number one.
Yeah.
Taylor, and Xavier Robinson, I don't care what you say if he was lower, but he's better. He was better last year than Taylor Tatum. Taylor Tatum's the best running back on that team, pure talent wise, but he's got things to figure out.
He's got a hold on the ball.
If I'll Gavin and Barnes, if they see the field, I'm going to be kind of pissed off, honestly.
Well, Gavin's gone. He's transferred out.
Sorry, yeah. But if Barnes sees the field, I'm going to be a little pissed off.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like Barnes, I feel like Barnes has showed some flashes. Like it's not like he's not shown that he has ability, right? Like he shows like if he was put in a good system, you know what I mean? Like,
but he had
that we didn't have all these other guys. But that's what I'm saying. Like right now, he's probably fourth on this roster.
100%.
Like I said, right now it's Ott, and then Robinson. And like as much as I agree with you guys, Tatum, as far as just a pure put him in space or just like make him a running back is phenomenal. But if he can't hold on to the ball, then don't put him on the field.
No, 100%.
He can't pick up a blitz, can't hold on the ball, you can't put him on the field.
Yeah. What's your other
if he
one,
resolves
Troy?
those two things, if he resolves those two things in another, like maybe this season, but especially like next year, like he's going to be a problem.
And my other one, I was going back and forth with it, but it's either just a fresh start to the season.
Mm-hmm.
Forget last season. We've got some positivity going into this season, like just needing a fresh year, right? That or the D line. The D line is going to be the best D line in the country, I believe. Yeah. And so those two things. Another honorable mention is Deion Burks is back. Wide receiver room can't be as injured as it was last year, like you were talking about, Daryl.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think all that. But I do think that the running back room might be one of the most talented running back rooms in the SEC, frankly.
Yeah, that nobody believes is.
Exactly.
Nobody believes that. But I agree. Like, I think Xavier Robinson is special. I told you guys when I went and watched him at that Carl Albert game and got to be on the side, like, he has incredible feet for his size. And he showed that. He was the one guy outside of Tatum that could see a guy in front of him and even at his size, make enough of a move to turn a 2-yard gain into a 4-yard gain or a 5-yard gain to a 7-yard gain. Now, he's not going to blaze down the field and break a 60-yard run. But, and his size alone, he's falling forward every time. The fact that they didn't use him last year still just mind boggles me when you know that offensive line is a wet paper towel, that you don't use your 235-pound back just to bowl through the line is insane. It's insane.
Who's gonna play tight end, guys? Or our H back there? Who's gonna play these? If you say Jaron Kanik, I'm gonna lose my mind, man.
There's two names I think would make you lose your mind, and I think one of them is going to play it the most.
Throw them.
Caden Helms or Kanik.
Okay.
But, again, that's all rumor mill, but I will say this. RSJ just went on and said the surgeon, he said it. He said the surgeon botched Caden Helms' surgery back in the day when he hurt his knee. And that this is the first time he's seen Caden Helms healthy again.
I'm done hearing that crap. I'm done hearing that.
I know, but that's what he said. But there's the other guy. Well, I can't remember the dude's name now because I just don't believe in him at all. But here's my thing, and I told Jared this. I really don't care because I think you can scheme an offense without a tight end. Is it helpful? Absolutely. But I don't think it's necessary for them to do this. Here's the other thing, by the way, my honorable mention that has me even drinking more hopium. Did you know what part of the task that Nagy has given his staff? Did y'all hear about this from the Nagy luncheon? So Troy, let's just say that you're playing tight end. Did you know that our front office, that one of their major parts of the job during the season is going to be, okay, we're playing Texas. Here is a cut up of Anthony Hill in coverage as a linebacker, and here's all the things he sucks at. And here's the examples of how bad he is at those things. Oh, hey, such and such, you're going to play right guard. Let me show you this D tackle. And let me show you that when you do this, He does not handle it very well. Or his number one move that he goes to is this move every single time. And so here's the cut up of all the guys that have taken advantage of this and how they've taken advantage of it. With
Are you telling me we haven't been doing that in the past?
They don't have the staff to do it. Now, you can see some of those things, but literally part of their deal is going to be to watch every single game and literally watch just individual players, every single player that logs minutes, and log their strengths and their weaknesses, and have a cut up for each and every one of them to give to the players.
So we're turning into an NFL team because I know that's what the NFL
does. Most colleges do not do that. They do not have the staff.
That is wild to me that they do not do that. That is wild to me.
So I don't want to get too, I mean, that's pretty crazy, but I do want to bring up something else, not to get too much off the hopium, but I do want to get Troy's thoughts because we did talk about last time. Troy, if you had to pick one position group that you're worried about, what is it?
Tight end. I just said it. We were going to start Jaden or like Jared Canick. Tight end.
So I would say wide receiver.
I mean, I can see that. I can see that because there's a lot of hopium going around with the wide receiver group, and it's more important than the tight end group. But like when we literally don't have a tight end out there, like to play tight end,
corner.
Yeah, I mean that's my thing is like you have Deion Burks, and then you have a whole lot of guys that haven't proved anything, at least at the level of football that OU is going to be playing.
I think Deion Burks could have a nice year.
Deion Burks,
I do, but if
healthy, he's fine. Isaiah Satanius played in the SEC and produced in the SEC. He's going to like those two guys right there being healthy are upgrades from nobody being healthy last year.
Is Jaden Gibson going to be healthy?
I don't know about Jaden Gibson. Javani Gibson is on pace to be healthy, which again, we don't know what he is. He's a transfer, smaller level school.
That's why I asked Jaden Gibson has produced when he was a freshman. So I want him to be healthy.
Yeah. No, I agree. We'll see. I don't know. But all I have to say, look, think about all the things we just said that we are very confident are going to be better. I mean, some of these things are 100%. There is no question they're better. Troy, you said quarterback's going to be better, just in pure experience.
Here's the ultimate hopium. Here's the ultimate way to lay out why to be like hopeful for the season. If you took last year's rosters, injuries, poor O-line, everything, and you put a competent play caller in place, we were already saying you probably win 8 to 9 games. Minimum.
Yeah.
And we were already saying that those position groups are better.
Yep.
Like you have a competent play caller. You have better players in those positions. It's like, why would you not think we're going to be better? And we're not even to take the SEC probably being a little bit weaker this year.
I was going to say that. And the SEC teams are probably going to have gotten a little bit worse for the most part. Yep. So, well, we have to pivot real quick because I've got to run. I got more work that I have to take care of. Sorry. But movies. I've seen a couple movies since we've been together. Superman, Fantastic Four.
Nice.
Come out. Either of you seen either of them?
No, not yet.
This is what we do, y'all. This is what we do. We talk about these things.
Troy, I will say this. Like, did you like Top Gun? Because the one movie that I have seen recently. So
I need to see F1. I know where you're going. I need to see F1 because I love Top Gun Maverick.
It's basically that in race cars.
I know.
Like but I told this to Daryl. I was like, there's scenes like obviously I'm a gearhead. Like I love motor racing and all those sorts of things. But there was scenes in that movie that like even my girlfriend who doesn't care about any of that was like, my heart was racing. Like it's that cinematically, like you're like, oh my God, like the sense of speed and everything was so there. So
I gotta see it.
Yeah, I haven't seen Superman. I've heard mixed reviews about Superman.
So here's the thing. If you go in expecting Man of Steel or Henry Cavill, you're gonna be severely upset. If you go in expecting something totally different and open mind, you'll enjoy it. Now, I'll rank the 4 superhero movies that have come out so far this year in 2025. It's Superman, Fantastic Four, Thunderbolts, and Captain America: Brave New World. Okay, my number 4 is Captain America: Brave New World. My number 3 is Superman. My number 2 is Thunderbolts. My number 1 is Fantastic Four.
Wow!
I thought Fantastic Four was really stinking good.
That's because you loved Thunderbolts. So that's
love Thunderbolt, and frankly, I've seen Superman twice. I love Superman. I
Wow.
really like Superman.
I did not
Um,
care. Didn't care for Brave New World to be honest, but
that's why it's fourth on my list. I thought it was just okay. Had a couple
yeah,
cool set pieces, but after that, I was like, whatever.
yeah.
But those were good. The other thing I wanted to bring up because, and I'll pivot because y'all two have nothing to contribute. Um, is I really like the fact that Daryl joined the Big Ten, and so did I in our college football 25 dynasty that we have going on.
I hope West doesn't join the SEC because I want to run the SEC. But
Well,
I
Wes
do want
could
to
get
point.
my LSU job, and if he
I know,
does, dude, that's scary for you, man. That
I
team's
know,
good.
but I do want to point out in our online dynasty, I did pull a reverse Tebow.
You did. You went to OU. Congratulations on
I
that.
was at Air Force. I went to USC, coached for a year, and then now I'm going to OU. And I told Daryl, I said, if I made it to the national championship, I'm trying to like calculate in my brain if it'd be worth enough of the bit to just throw in the national championship game to be like, sorry guys, I'm off to OU.
Daryl's so mad because I chose Ohio State.
So
What's funny,
ridiculous.
I told Daryl because you were like when you messaged our group and you said I have an offer I really have to consider. And I was like, is it OU? I was like, is he gonna do it? And then like I logged in, I was like, oh crap, I got the OU job. So I accepted and I was like, did I steal it? I don't know if it'll offer it to
No,
both
no,
like
no, no.
multiple people.
Jared, I had Ole Miss, Florida State, Ohio State, and Alabama as my offers.
Oh
Dang.
dang. Yeah. I
That was
had
my
like
four offers. So I was like, well, crap, I've got
You should have
LSU
pulled the Nick Saban
rolling.
and gone from LSU to
I
Alabama.
thought about it, but then at the end of the day, I really enjoy playing others in the game. And so I wanted to play others and go up against the best. So no offense. I thought you were sticking around, Jared. So anywho, it
yeah.
would have been fun, all five
It'd
of
been
us.
funny if we were all in the Big Ten, but no, I yeah, I'm pretty excited to be at OU. So
Dude,
what's
yeah.
funny is like it's kind of funny because it's like all of us, every single one of us in that fantasy, like or in our dynasty, would have taken like I was like as soon as I saw it, I didn't even question. I just like accept. I
You
was
didn't
like, I
even
feel
look
like
at the
everybody
recruit
did,
where they
so I was
were.
like, yeah,
Yeah.
I was like, bro, I don't even like the fact that I got it is kind of wild. But I told Daryl, what's funny, like one thing that's kind of sucked is the year before at or Air Force, I got he was like the number 3 recruit in the nation, number 1 middle linebacker. I got him committed. Then I left. This last year, or the current year, whatever, at USC, number 1 recruit in the nation, middle linebacker, got him committed, and now I'm leaving. And I'm like, I'm just leaving a trail of middle linebackers behind me.
No,
So
I can't go there with you because I keep getting three or four out of the top five recruits overall every year at LSU, and they're all turning
dude,
into 90s
I lose
there.
my mind. Like I'll go look at the class rankings, and it's like, oh, there's like West has some, like we all have like 3 or 4, like 5 in that range, and it's like Troy, 15 5 stars.
Yeah.
I'm
Every
like,
time.
yeah, I'm like, good
Every
God,
single
dude, I hate this
time.
so much.
They're so good. They're so
Yeah.
Good
good.
Lord. Good Lord. All
Anywho,
right, really quick to close it out. With all of your hopium coming true, the floor for OU is what, Troy?
six
If
wins.
all No, if all the hopium came true.
6 wins.
Wow.
That's the floor. You asked about a floor. The
Yeah.
ceiling's different. It could be it's six. 6 wins is the floor if the hopium comes true. The ceiling for me would be 11 wins.
Wow. Okay. Jared?
I think that there's a lot of factors in play.
The floor, I think, is 7 wins. Do I want to say it? I mean, I think the ceiling. Okay, I'm going to put the ceiling as this is like a lot of things you would have to go in OU's favor outside of their control. But I'd say it is 12 wins.
If all the hopium comes true, the floor is 9. The floor is 9. And I think the max is 11. I just don't think you can go undefeated anymore in a season. I think it's just too hard, but I think they can get to 11. I don't think there's much room if all this comes together like we think it's going to come together. I think the floor is 9 for
Here's
them.
at the end of the day, like all of them could come together for us, and we frankly still might not be as good as Alabama on the field. Like that's like things like that. We might not be as good as Texas, Alabama, LSU, South Carolina, frankly, like just on the field. those four, we could be really good and still lose 4 games easy.
Yeah.
So that's
agree.
why I think Jared and I are on the same wavelength. Of like it could be there's a huge gap between I think the floor and the ceiling of things going well.
Yeah. I'm very high on the squad this year. I wasn't last year, but I'm high on them this year. And I really do think 9 wins is going to happen. And 9 wins is what got Georgia into the SEC championship last year. And so it's right there.
I think the thing about it is I hope you're right, Daryl, because I think you need 9 wins to really keep the train rolling. Like keep like recruiting and everything going forward. If you don't get 9 wins, then I think there's probably questions about Brent Venable's job, to be quite frank. I mean,
I still think 8 wins will keep things moving just because the schedule is considered one of the top 2 toughest schedules in all of some people.
We're not talking about we should not talk. This is a big conversation for the next podcast.
It is, which is going to be the Skyfall. The Skyfall pod comes next. So we'll hit it on that one. So anyways, anything else from you guys?
No, I want to leave now.
Okay, yeah. Troy's done. So again, please like, subscribe, leave. I'm pulling right back to the record right here. We accidentally stopped recording in the midst of signing off, and Troy and Jared are losing their minds at how terrible it was. It's awesome. That's
you
why
have one job. You have one job,
and I cannot do it. Oh, that's why we're just okay. So, anyways, like, subscribe, do all the things. That's Troy. That's Jared. I'm Daryl. We will talk to you guys later.
Bye, Baker.
Cha-ching, it's on your money ball.
And you can unhitch the wagon. Put the ponies in the ball.